So I quit my corporate job in Japan and it has been 2 years and 5 months to be exact. How has it been? Was it worth it? Any lessons I learned? Let's find out. By the way, for this video, I probably won't do crazy edit or a lot of b-rolls because I want this to be like, catching up with you and just giving you an update. So this video is probably gonna be way simpler than the usual one. Okay. When this new chapter of my life started over 2 years ago, I was completely burned out, stressed out. I was depressed and I was so lost. And honestly, until fairly recently, I felt like I was in a rut for just a really, really long time and I just didn't know how to get out of it. One lesson I learned after I quit my job is that it is important not to attach your entire personality or identity to your job. And I realized that I have done that basically the entire career. So every time something bad happened at my job, it was like I was having a mini identity crisis over and over again. And I was naive to think that my problem with identity crisis is gonna be gone once I quit my job. I thought, well, once I quit my job, I can no longer attach my identity to my job, so that problem is gonna be gone. And I was wrong. The thing is, I struggled even more to figure out who I am after I quit my job. Because at the end of the day, your job is still this big label that defines who you are and what you do. And after you quit, you no longer have that label. So unless you have a really, really strong foundation and have a good understanding of what you do and who you are, the chances are you will probably have an identity crisis like I did once you quit your job. In the past 2 years, I went through so many changes. Leaving a job and leaving my then partner and moving to Portugal. I do not have a job title. I don't really have a job. I am no longer someone's partner. So who am I again? Earlier this year, I had another big change in my life, which I'm gonna share later in the video. And only after that event, I finally started to feel like myself again. And I'm finally enjoying this process of reshaping my identity. If you lose your job or if you quit your job, you will most likely have an identity crisis. And it is okay, you can take your time to reshape and recreate your new identity. So I grew up competing in figure skating, and let me tell you, it is not an easy sport. In fact, if I have kids in the future and if they want to get into figure skating, I might be like, listen, do you really want to do this? It's a tough sport. Because of that, I thought I have a really good self-discipline and self-control. Quitting your job and becoming self-employed is going to test your self-control and self-discipline on a whole new level. And this is especially true if you're doing everything by yourself. I think having a good system that works for you, intentionally setting deadlines even if you don't need to set deadlines, having an ambitious goal that gets you going, I think those things are very important even though it can get challenging at times. So one lesson I learned in the last 2 years is that money can give you more time, but you cannot buy goals with money. As I openly shared on this channel, I planned my quit for quite a long time. I made sure that I will be okay even if I don't make any money for a couple of years. So I planned my quit and I was very prepared. But because of that, it was very challenging to create this false urgency, which I think a lot of corporations do a great job to create. They make you feel like if you miss this sales goal, if you don't close this big deal that you're working on, it is the end of the world. And when you're doing everything by yourself, it is very challenging to recreate this false urgency, just the right amount to get you going without completely ruining your life. Another thing I really struggled after I quit my job is this balance between my passion versus business. As you know, this channel evolves as my life evolves. I intentionally didn't pick a niche, even though it would have been probably easier to grow this channel if I chose a niche and just went for it. I wanted to document how my life evolves and I wanted to share that journey with you. But at the end of the day, I do make money by working with brands, and it was very challenging to get this right balance of making videos that get views and making videos that kind of satisfy my creativity needs. It was like, okay, so am I doing this as a hobby or as a job? So I implemented two rules which has been working very well for me. Number one, before I start any project, I need to categorize the project as passion or business. And to be honest, even if I categorize it as a business, I usually end up having a lot of fun with it anyways. But this role really helps me to satisfy my needs for creativity and needs when it comes to business. Number two, I learned to detach my identity from video performance. My rule is that I do the best job I can to create the best video possible with the limited resources and time that I have. And sometimes, even if I do my absolute best, and after changing my title and thumbnails for the seventh time, the video just doesn't do well, and it happens sometimes. I need to remember that low view counts and negative comments don't necessarily make me less valuable. Like, just because you mess up at your job, it doesn't make you less valuable as a human. All we can do is to just keep learning and keep trying. So at the end of last year, I came to Portugal and I met someone special. We started dating, but I needed to leave Portugal to sort my visa out. So I went back to Japan for 3 months, and he even paid me a visit for a little bit in Japan. He flew back home, and after a little bit of waiting time, my visa officially got approved. So I was getting ready to move to Portugal, and a couple weeks before my flight, I received this phone call. And he said, I don't want to do this anymore. I was very confused and I just didn't know why or what I did wrong. And all of a sudden, I wasn't excited to move to Europe anymore. It was my very first time officially moving to and living in Europe, and he was the only person that I knew very well. Either way, I flew back to Portugal to start a new life, and within the first 2 weeks, I got sick. I couldn't go outside, I couldn't meet any of my friends, and I was alone at this apartment that I was renting at that time, and I had never felt that lonely probably in my entire life. I felt so lost, I felt so sad, and I thought this is the worst thing ever. I felt like I was in this dark tunnel and there was no way out. But one morning, I woke up and I was just so sick and tired of being sad. And from that day, a little by little, I started to feel better. Little by little, I was able to gain back control in my life. I finally started to discover myself, and I finally started to feel like me again. The other day, I went to Web Summit in Lisbon. They had like 70,000 people attending. They built a huge main stage in Mio Arena. I was listening to a keynote at the main stage in the audience, and I thought, someday I want to present at this main stage. And that is one of the many things I want to achieve in my life. In this process of rediscovering myself and getting out of this dark tunnel that I initially thought there was no way out, I found so many things and dreams that I want to achieve. And for the first time in so long, I feel so excited about it. When I first received the phone call, I thought this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in recent years. And although I have every right to be sad about what happened, I realized that it is also the best thing that's ever happened to me in recent years. And I realized that throughout my life, I always somehow turned a tragedy into a happy ending. I truly believe that you can turn any negative events or failure into success or happy ending as long as you keep writing the story. And I think this is one of the most important mindset to have if you want to leave your job and pursue a pathless path. So, quitting a job, was it worth it? Okay, it's time for the announcement. So, long story short, I am launching a Japanese learning community. Woo! Clap, clap. I can't clap because I'm holding a camera. I can't clap, but let me explain what it is. So, the community is called Sashimi Club because I wanted to teach real, authentic, raw Japanese, like fresh sashimi. Also, I really like sashimi, huge fan, and it sounds so cute. The reason why I wanted to start this is because I quit my 9 to 5 job and I really missed helping other people and working with other people. I really missed the aspect of it. And so I started to teach Japanese. I started to do private lessons, and you guys, so many of you guys signed up. So I had a lot of people on the wait list, and it was so frustrating because I couldn't help everybody. So I thought, why not having a group class so that I can help more people? But to arrange group class, the logistic of it, it's a lot of work because everybody is in different time zone. And so I was like, what if I make a community and do group lesson there? That way we can also have the community aspects of it, which I think is so important. It is so important to have like a study partner and friends who can go through this language learning journey. You can inspire each other and motivate each other. So that was the idea, but I didn't want to make just another Japanese course or lesson. I designed this community in a way that people can transform their Japanese study time into a fun part of lifestyle that brings joy to their everyday life. I studied English as a second language, and I still learn new words every single day. Like I read a new book and there are new words and phrases that I don't know. So it is a part of a lifestyle. And I think that is one of the only sustainable way to master any language. Another thing I really wanted to focus is the joy aspect of it. The reason why I can speak English right now to you is because I immersed myself into the world of English and it was so much fun. I truly believe that joy is our superpower. So I was like, how can I inspire the students to find the joy? How can I bring the joy to the classroom? Because in the language learning world, I feel like it is so easy for teachers to focus on what they want to teach and focus on boring stuff from the beginning, like pronunciations and grammars, because that's what they want to teach. That's what they think is important. Whereas I really want to just focus on spreading the joy to the students. So I designed a 30-day challenge. I spent way too much time creating this. Like, I hope people are gonna join because I've spent so much time on this. But the first 30-day challenge is gonna start on December 1st inside of the community. And it is based on the main song of Kiki's Delivery Service. It is a beautiful movie and a beautiful song. Within 30 days, you're gonna learn important words and phrases from the song. And within 30 days, you're gonna understand the entire song. So the idea is that during the challenge, everybody in the community is gonna listen to the song as often as possible and learn together. And it is only like 5 to 10 minutes a day so that no matter how busy you are, you can find the time to study Japanese every day. So by the time this video is out, the community is live, so go check it out from the description below. I created like a trailer for the community as well, and you can check that on the page. So I hope I'm gonna see you inside of the community. My first goal is to just break even. Like, let's forget about the hours I spent, time that I spent to build this community, because in order to create and host a community on School, of course you have to pay a monthly fee, and they also take transaction fee. School is an amazing platform and they have excellent service. I recommend School to anybody who want to start creating community. It is an excellent platform, but I'm gonna have to, of course, pay money to use their service. And so the first goal is like, I hope I break even, and my second goal is to inspire and help 100 people to make their Japanese study time a fun part of their everyday life. And I'm gonna do my absolute best to make the community as cozy as possible. So yeah, let's hope someday I'm gonna hit 100 members in the community. And yeah, that was the big announcement. So, quitting a job, was it worth it? I honestly don't know. Sometimes I wonder how my life would have looked like if I had stayed in that job. I'm certain that it would have been easier if I just stayed and climbed up the corporate ladder. But for me, I think that's just too basic, too boring. And honestly, I have no interest in becoming the most successful person in the world or in the entire room. But I want to be the most interesting person in the entire room. I want people to think that that Japanese girl, she is interesting. So in order to achieve that, I will keep failing. I will keep getting back. And most importantly, I will always keep learning. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed catching up with me. Make sure to like and subscribe so that I can see you again in the next video. Bye!